Please welcome the governor of the great state of Indiana, Eric Holcomb.
So now you know, between me and Mayor Hogsett, I drew the short straw. Goodness. Felt like running through a brick wall just to get out here. What an inspiration. What an inspiration. And as are you. Thank you for being here. Good morning. I give a lot of speeches throughout my days, and to be quite honest, my wife is kind of tired of hearing me talk. But when I told her that I was going to be with 4,000 plus firefighters this morning, she was actually eager. She wanted to be here, and I don't know exactly why. She knows many of you. She also happens to be a handgun shooting and safety instructor, so we don't argue. So I was going to welcome her to join me. But it ended up she had another event at this exact hour. So on behalf of Indiana's First Lady, Janet Holcomb, and 6.6 million other Hoosiers scattered all over the state of Indiana, we want to welcome you back to your second home in Indiana. This is going on over 2 decades, and we couldn't be prouder to grow alongside you year after year after year. Our great state is just so honored to host you, and I am especially honored to stand before you again. It's something I don't take lightly, because I know what you do and where your thoughts are always 24/7. And to you and to all of your teammates back home, and what you mean, it's just you're the thread that keeps the fabric all together. And as was just said, in our smallest of towns to our biggest world-class cities like where you are right now, nothing could ever mean more than what your service does to our communities. And the mayor and I fully understand what your duties all entail. I don't want you for one second to think that while some may understandably just carry on smartly with their daily lives and go from point A to point B and not think much about what all goes into what you do, not just during the chaos, but all that leads up to it, all the training, when every time there's a 911 call that comes in, that is met with a calm response and a swift and reassuring action, whether it's floods or tornadoes or blizzards or earthquakes. The list just goes on and on and on, the disasters that strike. And it's always you that step forward quickly, whether it's clearing our roads or delivering essentials to our needy neighbors or rescuing people from situations that I can't even imagine. So while others may take this for granted because of the safety and security that you provide, please know that we don't. Indiana is a state that will be eternally grateful for everything that you do, each and every single one of you. And let me just close by sharing just a few things that I expect and suspect, I guess you could say, that while you're here, I believe that you'll experience. And one is, obviously, you're going to just overwhelmed. I know what's coming. We prepare for this. The city does, and the State Fire Marshal does, and it's an all hands on deck to make sure that we're delivering the best show possible, always seeking to outdo what we did last year because of your input. And so I expect you're going to learn a lot, maybe most importantly, in terms of training, so that you can do your jobs even better when you get back home. And I expect that you're going to meet some new friends and reconnect with some longtime ones. I won't say old ones, but longtime friends from around the country and around the world. And I expect that you're going to spend a lot of money, like a lot of money, until it hurts. And finally, I suspect that you're going to drink this town dry. I bet there won't be a beer left in a 10-block radius when you're all done here. So thank you all for what you mean, not just to your hometown, but what you mean to this country. You speak right at who we are as a people, and your actions prove it day in and day out. God bless you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you.
The Mayor of the City of Indianapolis, Joe Hogsett.
You know, I'm the happiest man in the world. This is my third FDIC conference as mayor. And for those of you who are regular attendees, and many of you are, I know, every year I have to follow Bobby Holcomb. This year, it's our governor. Actually, he did a pretty good job, didn't he? But following Bobby Holcomb, you know, that's a tough act. And he is so sincere when he talks about the importance of the fire service. So as mayor, let me be to the point. Welcome back. Welcome back to Indianapolis. The thousands of firefighters who come every year really uplift our city. And I want to thank you every year for being here at this great conference. The things that you will discuss, the issues that you will consider and take back with you are very important to the people who you serve, to the residents of your cities and towns, as Bobby says, your villages. It's critically important. Here in Indianapolis, our firehouses are the cornerstones of our community. And I am sure the same is true in your hometowns as well. That is why spending time here at this conference, come together, making better firefighters, means that the men and the women and the children in your neighborhoods know that you always have their back. So while you spend your time at this conference, I want you to consider the training, the classes, the curriculum very seriously. But that doesn't mean you can't have a good time. And I want you to have a good time in the city of Indianapolis. As I've already said, you've got Bobby Holcomb at the helm, so I am sure that having fun won't be an issue. Live it up while you're here. It's a great city. It's a walkable and negotiable city. And as many of you know, because you are returnees, I'm going to try to do something about the weather. I can't promise anything, but we are indeed proud to have you here. Let me just close by saying that three years ago, when I addressed you and welcomed you to Indianapolis following Bobby Holton, he came to me before I came to the stage. And he shook my hand. I didn't know Bobby at the time. Since then, he and I have become Twitter pals. And when he shook my hand, he had a challenge coin in his hand. A commemorative challenge coin from 2016, the FDIC conference. And many of you know those challenge coins are numbered. I looked down, thanking Bobby for his thoughtfulness in presenting me with a commemorative coin for the 2016 FDIC conference. And when I looked at it, I saw that it bore the number 343. And so I asked Bobby, thank you for the coin. He says it's not just a commemorative coin, it's coin 343. He said, I purposely gave you coin 343 to thank you for hosting this conference. My dear friends, I'm ashamed to tell you, I didn't understand what coin 343 was. He explained to me, it's a very special coin, because that's how many firefighters we lost in 9/11. Ever since that day, I carry coin 343 with me everywhere. I never want to forget the importance of what happened to our country in 9/11 and the importance of the FDIC as it gathers every year. Coin 343, a special, special coin. I think it protects me. I know you protect me, and I cannot thank you enough. Welcome to Indianapolis.
The Chief of the Indianapolis Fire Department, Ernest Malone.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Mayor Hogsett. Thank you for those words. Thank you for your continued support of not only our department, but the fire service as a whole. He means what he says. On behalf of the 1,300 men and women of the Indianapolis Fire Department, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Indianapolis. We are honored to be a part of the celebration celebrating the Fire Department Instructors Conference. These folks, we start in July to bring this show to you this year. The partnership between Pinwell and Fire Engineering and FDIC is just incredible, and it's a pleasure to work with them. Would you please give all of those folks a hand, please? We could not be more proud to be hosting this very special event here in Indianapolis for an amazing 23rd time. While you are here, Please consider yourself part of our firefighting and emergency services family. Those who proudly serve our great city are eager to assist you in any way possible. If we can be of service during your visit, please don't hesitate to let us know. I am sure we will find a way to help your stay here be an enjoyable, educational, and certainly a rewarding experience. The Indianapolis Fire Department is a performance-driven, full-service, all-hazard mitigation agency. Our organization's mission is to save lives, protect property and the environment, while serving our community with courage, commitment, and compassion. We use an acronym. Our promise is CPR, which for us means we will be courteous, professional, and respectful in all that we do. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the 294 Indianapolis firefighters currently on duty protecting us while we are in this building. And I ask you once again, please honor our firefighters with a hand, please. You know, as you make your way through our city, you will pass fire stations and fire equipment, and we welcome you to visit any of our 44 work sites. I want you to know that each time you see a man or woman wearing our uniform, you are seeing a public servant who is highly trained and deeply committed to keeping you safe. We truly embrace the sentiment in our organization that it's our family serving your family. Indianapolis is an outstanding community with a world-class fire department that has served our residents for over 159 years. An organization made up of men and women with diverse cultural backgrounds. Our department members work very, very closely with our businesses and our residents to ascertain what services they want us to offer and to attempt to meet or exceed those needs. Our department, as I said, has 44 stations divided into 7 strategically placed battalions with 4 operational bureaus: operations, administration, logistics, and community risk reduction. Each of these bureaus are led by exceptionally talented chief officers whose ability to successfully reach their goals and achieve positive outcomes is totally related to the wonderful people they get to work with. You know, FDIC is such an amazing event. One of the best things about this conference is that it has been developed by what I call a common sense approach. It seeks to enhance the skills of firefighters, not only in the traditional roles of our service, but in preparing them for the challenges in the ever-changing world we will face tomorrow. Regardless of how many years we have in this profession, we are all students of this service. I want to share with you, I do believe it's important that we remember that many of the policies, practices, procedures, and techniques we now employ, they were born out of a tragedy. They were born from the sacrifice of men and women who gave their lives trying to save others. Too often, that effort changed into us trying to save our own. You see, as firefighters, we will keep our promise to you, and we will honor our oath. Our countries, our states, our cities, and towns endure in the dedication of those who keep us safe. Our duty to protect our communities has not lessened, nor has it gotten any easier. It continues to grow in complexity, hazard, and risk. As firefighters, we must live up to that challenge every shift, every day, and every time. The people we serve are depending on us, and I know we will not let them down. Just for a few minutes again this year, I would like to offer a special note to those of you who are officers or aspire to be officers and leaders in our great service. I remind you that it is an accurate statement to say that based on your promotion, you have position, title, authority, rank, power, even influence. But I caution you that you do not automatically have the respect of the men and women you serve. My friends, that you will have to earn. You will earn it by what you do, not by what you say. Do you engage them? Do you involve them? Do you motivate them? Do you challenge them? And most importantly, do you truly care about them? You know, I ask that you don't treat people as bad as they are. Treat them as good as you are. In my opinion, being a leader has everything to do with them, and it has very little to do with us. Maybe you should listen a little more than you talk. You just might learn something about your people, and for that matter, you might learn something about yourself. It is true that strong officers stand up for themselves, but even stronger officers stand up for others. You know, displaying humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. If one were to look at the many agency titles for those who are charged with the oversight of other people, we would see terms like owner, supervisor, manager, commissioner, director, commander, etc. You may have noticed that I did not call you leaders. I hope you did. You are most certainly officers, a great achievement for sure, but being promoted does not make you a leader, nor does putting on your new helmet or your shiny collar bars and bugles. Your future as a leader in this profession can only be determined by you and by the firefighters you guide, protect, and serve. When I speak to the officers in our organization, I often remind them that I don't want you to lead by showing examples of your power. I'm asking that you lead by showing the power of your example. Yes, you may have been promoted and assigned to be someone's superior officer, but make no mistake, they will decide if you are their leader or not. Don't let being promoted change who you are. Instead, I ask that you let it reveal who you are. Don't just show them the big picture. Let them help you draw it. Stick to the process and goals. Stay focused and committed. Don't give up just because it gets hard, and I promise you at times it will get hard. Please don't let the things you cannot do deter you from doing the things you can do. As someone once said, if it's important to you, you will find a way. And we all know people that if it's not, they will find an excuse. Stay positive and don't be afraid to show your passion for this job we all love. Others will feed off your enthusiasm and your energy. Remember, there are choices you have to make in nearly everything we do, folks. So keep in mind that in the end, the choices that you make you. While much of what we do is data-driven, we must remain people-focused. Every action or inaction has an effect on our customers, either our firefighters or someone in our community. One day we will all be just a memory to the people we are charged with leading and protecting. I say let's do our best to be a good one. Everyone just indulge me a minute and please do me a favor. Just close your eyes. Promise no one will harm you in our great city. I want you to imagine the best version of yourself that you possibly can. The best version of you. You know what? That's who you really are. I want you to let go of any part that doesn't believe that and go out and make that happen. The only thing in the way is you. In closing, I am honored to be the chief of an outstanding progressive fire department such as IFD. I believe the professional manner in which the men and women of this organization perform their duties is second to none. And I am so humbled and proud to serve with them. Please feel free to visit any of our 44 stations and enjoy the hospitality of your fellow brothers and sisters. Indianapolis has a variety of attractions for you in both our downtown and our surrounding areas. As you make your way through the city, you will find an abundance of restaurants and shopping and cultural attractions that await you. Do me a favor and please stop by our Fire Museum at Local 416's brand new Union Hall. It's a very impressive building that we're very proud of. Take time to experience a little bit of our history and maybe enjoy a refreshing beverage while you're there. I would like to thank you all for what you do every day. The term fire department doesn't adequately describe what we do. The duties, roles, and responsibilities of today's public safety agencies go far beyond that. While you're here, please commit yourself on passing on the knowledge and experience you gain. pass it on back home, pass it on to those who were not fortunate enough to be able to attend. You know, it is your work and your commitment to our profession that will continue to make ours a great service. The International Fire Service is comprised of many organizations that have very proud histories and traditions. I believe that those of you here clearly demonstrate by your willingness to seek out additional training and better yourself. I believe that this fire service generation has the ability and the heart to keep that tradition and the commitment to safeguard our communities. Thank you for being here and enjoy your training.